can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again. What people do eat no money, what they at you, eat no at you. Go be money, miss away in the your little rat you. Use the youth, them on the waste, and bust a man to statue. Say me like a catch you, but bigger than a figure you. Take the spit of money, God, and say that it's not you. On the head, the man above him, look him, I got a bet too much. It in the kitchen, some of my well like a pat too. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you. It burn me 300% free. It burn me. Garbage pile of the day. It burn me. Give the teacher them raise. It burn me. I see corruption face. It burn me. Mash down the people them house. It burn me. Every day appear arms out. It burn me. Appear money them a thief. It burn me. And them a sell out the beach. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again. Come and say big up a
Stibby day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love like we in Global. Bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global. We not promote them. We not support them. Look at them on the cheek come here represent for we in Global TV. Check it.
Good afternoon from London. If you are on the Eastern Timeline, good morning. Welcome to the Global Television Group. It is your At a Glance program. Good morning, all, and welcome. Still a bit under the weather, but feeling much better. Feeling much better. Thank you all for joining us this morning. You must have seen a video Papaya News Link put out yesterday with some goats in a car and a cow. Send go call Papaya. Send go call Papaya and tell him, say, Global TV is going to lay out a bill and receipt of those goat thieves this morning. If Papaya News Link want to fill in any dots that the police may not be giving him or any other source may not be giving him, it is here this morning on Global TV. We're going to flush out 2 goat thieves in particular this morning. So send go call Papaya News Link and tell him, say, if him want the blanks to be filled in, I have bill and receipt. Old story, new story what's the man I don't hear about. I'm going to lay it out this morning. Hypocritically, on my part, I must admit, this particular subject I'm going to deal with this morning, hypocritically on my part, I have been dodging this subject no longer. This morning, I'm going to deal with it in public. So to anyone from my community who may be annoyed with my utterance this morning, I am sorry, but I cannot play hypocrisy for much longer. Debbie Jervis. Good morning to my community of party and all my family members. I have just gone live. I will call you when I'm done. Good morning to my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers and subscribers. Good morning and welcome. Debbie Jervis, Beat and Teach. Good morning, Jason Kane, good morning. Natalia Freeman, good morning. Shanette Burnett, good morning. Michelle Lewis Wilson, God gives, good morning. Paula Shelley, good morning. Annie Smith, good morning and welcome. Marcia Thomas, Bueller, good morning, good afternoon. Precious Allen, good morning, good afternoon. Norman Ferguson, Pamela Akola, Angela 48349, Yvonne Johnson, Miguel King, Annie Jones, Gloria Morris, Faye Lyons, Cousin Mern, Wagwan. Good morning, all, and welcome, nifty friend, Faye Lyons. Good morning, Lilith Lockerbie, Brenda Elson, Pamela Akola, Gloria Morris, Yvonne Riley, Andrea, Donette Warner. Good morning, Mavis Forbes. Good morning. Agent Sajaiva 5, Wagwan, bro. Agent Sajaiva 5, leave me alone. We can't take on so much war in my community this morning. Me take on the community, me can't take on family. Murder. Good morning, all, and welcome. Common Forest. Good morning. On a send go call Papaya Newslink. Whatever dots Papaya Newslink need filling in this morning. Philippa Forbes. Good morning and welcome, cuz how are you? Loris Beckford. Good morning and welcome. Any dot Papaya Newslink need filling this morning, please call Papaya. We are going to lay out bill and receipt on global television this morning. The community tired. If your goat don't tie to you, Kenton McIntosh and Oral Brown, Miguel King, Olimar Pressful, Kenton McIntosh and Oral Brown. If your goat not tied to you, them are going to lift it up. Either your goat have to sleep in a house, or you have to sleep out a door with your goat to protect your goat. Lots of people in the community would want to raise them goat, but them can't do it because of Kenton McIntosh and Oral Brown. Real Black Woman. Good morning, Shauna Smith. Enough of them. What I go outline to know this morning. Now you would have seen, for those of you who watch Popeye Newslink, you would have seen Popeye put out Miranda Rodham, this publication. He also put out a video snippet of as well with the goats. Now this car, I know the car and I know the owner, Oral Brown, Lauren Adams. Wanna send go call Popeye. Oral Brown, Mavis Dice. Oral Brown, a big man, you know. Oral Brown supposed to be about 55, 56. Oral was either about 1968 or 1969, Mr. Brown. But when I don't run through these two this morning, I don't want anyone to cause any aspersion over the family or criticize both of these guys' family. Because without water in my mouth, I can tell you, these boys came from good upbringing. Nothing what they are doing bear anything of their family, either side of the kind. Hypocritically, I have dodged this subject for a long time. I've been a Sarkodie. Not because of them, mainly to do with their family members. This morning, I cannot ignore. A long time them are going with it. Them boy I get enough opportunity in a life. Oral Brown came to this country twice. I don't remember the circumstances of his first return to Jamaica, deportation or removal. I don't remember. He came back under a different name, normalized his status through marriage, was working for London Transport. But because Oral Brown, greedy, Colin Richards. Get rich quick, Oral Brown. Oral Brown go down and them carry up jugs and them nab him. And I succumb him get deported back to Jamaica the second time. He has become a menace to the community. Monica Hawthorne, Florence Hamilton, Sharon Powell. This Oral Brown no fear who thief from as long as Oral a thief. A long time them in the cow thieving business. The first tactics them used to start when them used to use when them a thief cow. I mean, I deal with them one, but them work together. When them a thief cow, what they used to do first is them carry water boot, go put on cow, turn the water boot back and front. So when you follow the chap of who come at your place, come nab your cow, you get distorted because the water boot pan the cow back and front. So the direction where you follow the water boot go, them gone in the other direction. Them can't people cow, go bush, kill and cut up and go sell meat, but them upgrade. This is a big ring, you know. And I have reason to believe that police and a lot of other people are involved in this. Come let me tell you, my people. And multiple times them two boys get catch. That picture here, I want them catch. I know not new this year. The cow and goat, I mean, put them panda to explain. But him always get catch with cow and goat. But I know not new. This year one of the long time catch. A long time I had a picture here. Them upgrade. Them start transport live cow and goat in a car. How? Me understand the goat. How them get the cow in the car? Them would have to practice it in front of me. But my mind not ready for work out yet. Lennox. Oral Brown went as far as stealing his girlfriend's car. Yes, you heard what I said. Oral Brown went as far, and I'm not alleging. There's only one thing that I'm going to allege, Mr. Brown. And when I get to that conversation, I will make the allegation. But all of these others that I'm speaking about, I'm not alleging them. All we grew up together and know one another. We know one another business. Not hide from one another. Yes. Went as far as stealing his girlfriend's car. Took the car to Montego Bay. Because he's one of the frequent Montego Bayers. John Bailey. Took the car to Montego Bay. Changed the license plate. Changed sprayed the car. Resprayed the car. Marine. And come back to St. Elizabeth. With the car same by car. And a drive round in baby mother in a hit until he was exposed. There's multiple incidents in between, but there's an incident 2 weeks ago that took place in our very community that I'm going to explain to you that involved Patricia Williams, Oral Brown, and Kenton McIntosh. There's a well-known transport operator in our community. We call him Cal, Mr. Daly. 6 goat Them go take up out of Mr. Daly's backyard. Bear in mind, Kenton McIntosh have a brother that works at Black River Police Station who's also a police officer. That I will get to when I deal with Kenton. There are other thieves involved with them that are from outside our immediate community, but these are the touring leaders that involves my community. 6, them take up the man 6 goat, but what they did not know, the man had a private, secret CCTV at the back of his house because he have quite a bit of lawn at the back of his house with a lot of grass so the goat them can feed pan. So he have a camera at the back of the house. They weren't aware. So they were caught red-handed. Him never get back the goat them, but him demand 600,000 for the goat them. And them scrape together and pay the 600,000. All of those who were seen on the video admitted to the crime, barring Kenton McIntosh, whenever admit to no crime yet. Who populace them catch Kenton said, and Kenton is a national thief. Both of them, they're national thieves. Just 2 weeks ago, right in our community, 6 goat. And they were caught on CCTV. Then paid him and him 600,000. But my problem is the amount of time these 2 guys get arrested and no meaningful prosecution against them. Caught red-handed with cow and goat. And to date, no meaningful prosecution, which lead me to believe, St. Elizabeth Police in particular must depend the feeding trail our one why them ya two ya can continue to get away with it. So and see there, just 2 weeks later, oral car full of goat and cow. We move on to Kenton McIntosh. I couldn't get a clear picture of him. This is one of Kenton catch, where they catch him red-handed as well. And this was earlier this year. This one was earlier this year. Kenton have a whole heap of previous catches before that, several places around the country. Several times, several places. But this, where you see sit down, you have to handcuff the one who lay down on the floor. This was earlier this year, not too long ago. Wasn't very too long before they got thief call goat them were there. But when the police came for them, let me go back, let me go in and say Kenton history before me get to this. So Kenton McIntosh also get opportunities in her life too. Kenton came to England as well. Yvonne Green, Patricia Williams. Because of Kenton's behavior, Kenton ended up getting deported. One young lady come to Jamaica from America, met Kenton. Come down condo big wedding, spread out all over the place, all over social media. Look like he take down the page there or something. Spread out, big wedding. Not long after the wife went back to the to the USA, Kenton was embroiled in a public goat stealing that ended up in the social space. and I succumb, the wife walk away from the embarrassment. And believe you me, from that, Kenton was the creator for the water boot backwards span goat. But Kenton never just start with goat. Kenton was a car thief at one point. Thief people car, drive it go in a bush, cut up it and sell it as spare part, dismantle and sell piece this one, piece this one, piece this one. Long time Kenton in the business. If your goat not tied to you, this Kenton McIntosh will lift them up and move with them. Nobody can raise no goat in peace because of these two. The incident of 2 weeks ago, come here, I tell you, me can't count the time where Kenton get catch several places across the country, like literally. And police catch them a lot of the time. One of the time, I did community people catch them and hand them over to police. Them did get some beating that time, but for some reason, everybody think them under obia. Me not tell you no lie. Just because them always get caught red-handed with people go to cow, but them always never manage figure out prison, not even meaningful prosecution. Many people think that something not normal. Or them a get catch so red-handed. And they can't go to prison. Now, when they came for them 2 weeks ago, when them thieves called 6 goat, even though they were all identified on the CCTV, Kenton McIntosh, to this date, swear blind on him, like all his other incidents. All if you catch him pan the goat, back of the goat, with the goat, it's not him. And him hold true and dear to that. It wasn't him. But when the police came for him, his police brother, Duke McIntosh, hey, I heard Duke gave him a good old piece of walloping. Went through him straight, fast, and thick. And every lick, me tired of you. Every lick, me tired of you. He's a national, they're community embarrassment. They are national embarrassment. But me not know if Paula and the police them I get goat and cow money. Why them are two thief here manage all the time to evade justice? Somebody else upon the feeding chain of this goat stealing. If you don't tie your goat to you, Oral and Kenton are going to lift up your goat then. Trust me. Oral Brown and Kenton. But back to Oral and the alleged story. There was a woman in our community who her house was robbed, and in the altercation, she was murdered. It is alleged that Oral Brown is involved in that situation because the money they went to the house to rob Blue Wave, Oral Brown was aware that a brother from the UK was going to send money in such quantity to the sister. No sooner has the money gotten to Jamaica, the woman's house was robbed. Evidence suggesting from the scene, that's why I said we police them, that she would have been fighting back because a blood trail, which wasn't forensically examined, showed that she may have injured someone during the altercation, because there was a blood spotting that led away from the house, which she was found dead in the house. It is alleged that Oral Brown could have and may have been the one, correct them out, who is involved in the murder of Miss Merle, Pastor Bartlett. Oral Brown may have been involved in the murder of Merle Foster Bartlett. That's an allegation. But all of anything when we say about Oral, Christine Gilbert, the length and breadth of the island, these two boys, is a menace to people and them goat and them cow. Nobody in our community no want to raise no goat. Because you either have to sleep out a door with them or them sleep in a house with you. That's the only way you're going to save your goat them. Can't stay silent for any longer. So, yes, the car and the video what the Papa put out is men from my community. The two of them work together. All if an Oral get arrested, James, how are you? A Oral car. And a little time, me I telling the people, them boy are not get catch. And no little time, them two boy no get catch. There are menace to the community. There are menace in Jamaica who are a big 50-year-old man or 55, 56. And from Oral come back home, go back home from England. Me don't have any contact for Papa. That's why I tell anyone who know Papa, tell him to me I lay out the bill and receipt for the thing they went put out yesterday. Morning, Marcia Stewart. How are you? So when you send go tell Papa if him want to know the bill and receipt of the car when put out yesterday, me just lay out them history of stealing. Elga Fletcher, a long time it ago on my people. Enough is enough now. Everybody is embarrassed. The community is embarrassed. Their family are embarrassed. I'm going to tell you something. None of what them are do bear resemblance of them upbringing. Them two boy, a boy will come from working homes. A boy them whenever have to go through poverty. A boy them whenever have to go to bed without a meal. Me know that. Me know that. And a boy them we can attribute to the sleep on floor, the garbage hungry, the walk barefoot. No. Their parents and grandparents were able to afford it. Sonia Smichael. So them never have to bunks certain hard life where we bunks. Them family never rich. But them family never dirt poor, bed hungry poor. You know, Annie Simit, you know about the Merle murder. She is the sister-in-law of my cousin. Okay. A long time A long time it a go on. The community can't continue to stay so silent. And now go take no damn ship, Sharon Bernard, in the community. And nobody now go afraid, and nobody now go afraid to talk. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Trust me. A whole heap of cascade. Okay, Annie Smith. A whole heap of galangin. Them two boy are going pan. Whole heap. Don't lick a drop. Long time. Enough is enough now. The community tired. Jamaica tired down. You know, say Andrew let's have work at that way. But me have a problem. Okay. We have a problem. Our justice system, there's a problem. Because somebody can't get catch red-handed with people go so much time and you don't have a meaningful prosecution and conviction. As soon as the police let them go back at the same thing again. They say 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks, them steal 6 goats. 2 weeks ago. And see the car full of cow and goat. How they manage to get the cow in the car? Please don't ask me. They would have to practice it live on camera. Show we. As a part of the rehabilitation. When after we send them to prison. But I don't know. So, anytime when you see Kenton and Oral, tie up on a goat, tie up on a cow and say, moo, meh, moo, meh. Alert the community that there's goat and cow thief around. Alert the community that there's goat thief around. Because if your goat not bolt down, be sure them are going to lift it up. 237 of you on the global television and the producer Wayne platform. And I mean, so now like the live, Dennis Hall, how are you? When I turn somebody with a little finger, I want to say to those vloggers out there, please, when you're, let me play this to my audience before I advise vloggers of their duty when they're in the YouTube partnership program. Maya Brown, how are you? Let me know as soon as they start playing. Let me know if you all can hear.
This is Mark Golding, President of the People's National Party and Leader of the Opposition. I was born in Jamaica, grew in Jamaica. I have only ever worked in Jamaica and I'm not leaving Jamaica, the land we love. And I can tell you, I am not one of the illicit 6. And my statutory declarations to the Integrity Commission have been certified and published for all years through to and including 2022, and my declaration for 2023 was filed in time by the March deadline in accordance with the law. God bless you all.
Right. So vloggers out there who fail to read the YouTube monetization policy, as well Christine Gilbert, Lauren Taylor, as the YouTube community guidelines. You must be aware of them, read them, and make sure when you're broadcasting or posting, you're not in violation of them. Not everybody wants to mash you up because you've played information that got private data protection, which violated community guidelines. Nobody have to report you. Wayne and him people them don't have to report you. The robots will do it themselves. Come and notice, remember them child silence me last year, so them come back again. No, you must read the community guidelines, and you must also read the monetization policy and understand data protection. Millie McBean, how are you? Coach Snureen, good morning. Janet Harriet, good morning. Look at TV, good morning. Good morning all and welcome. That's all I want to say on that. Janet Warner, how you do? I know we know everybody and everybody have come after you. No, you just didn't understand what you did. All right? And that's that on that. Right. I wanted to listen to the Prime Minister because I said to you sometime, I think last week or so, the Prime Minister is going to use this as an election campaign. And I think he has cited it yesterday in Parliament, you know, with their usual kerfuffle. The Prime Minister cited an argument yesterday in Parliament that I think is one of his election campaign brouhaha he's going to roll out on us. So let's bear the painstaking 5 minutes to listen to Andrew Holness on the drought situation and how his government have or has dealt with it, rebel with a cause.
From the recent drought. Your government understands the impact on all stakeholders, residents, children, schools, businesses, hotels in the region, and indeed all stakeholders. Farmers have also borne a heavy burden across all Western parishes, but in particular in southern St. Elizabeth, the government continues to put drought mitigation measures in place to reduce the impact. Mr. Speaker, the immediate short-term response to droughts in Jamaica invariably includes trucking of water. Increasing the capacity to accelerate our emergency response has been a major focus of the NWC and Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Last year, we added 8 trucks to the NWC's fleet, and we are now in the process of procuring an additional 8 trucks as we speak. Mr. Speaker, previous to my announcement of a national drought mitigation initiative in April in this honorable House, members should recall that in February, $30 million was allocated to the NWC to facilitate trucking in Brownstown, St. Anne, in Westmoreland, and in Hanover. It became apparent last month, with data from the Met Service, that the existing arrangement would not be sufficient to respond to the current drought. As such, I announced that the government had allocated $150 million to facilitate the trucking of water to communities that are experiencing water challenges due to the current dry conditions. 50 constituencies, mostly in rural areas, are benefiting from the support of the government of Jamaica, with each constituency receiving a minimum of 1.5 million Jamaican dollars. Additionally, constituencies in Clarendon have received an additional allocation of $2.5 million each, with $5 million being allocated for the corresponding municipal corporations. The Hanover East and West constituencies were also allocated an additional $2.5 million each, with the municipal corporation receiving $7.5 million to facilitate additional trucking. This was in addition to allocations of the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, which allocated $100 million for trucking to the municipal corporations for affected communities. I go through this excruciating detail to make the point that this government has probably been the most responsive government to deal with drought.
Hello?
We did it last year, we did it the year before. Whenever we are faced with a drought, a natural phenomenon, we have responded, and we have responded significantly. I will be the first to say, Madam Speaker, that the response is not meant to make a political point. We are not saying that because we have responded, people are not suffering from drought. That's not what we are saying. What we are saying, Madam Speaker, is that within the resource constraint of the country, within the budget of the country, we have made allocations such that we can ease and cushion the burden to persons who are without the precious commodity of water. It's not the full solution, it's not the complete solution, but it does ease the pressure on schools, on hospitals, on other public institutions where they are affected with lack of water. It helps the households who have no water. And I want to stress this point, Madam Speaker, that the government hears the complaints, we understand the issues, and we respond in significant ways. It's not a complete solution, but it responds to the immediate needs of the people.
Draw out everything and show the world. Layard, Brownman Security, Ian Martin, Donette Harriet, Leon McIntyre. Welcome all. Me have to play the photo in a news carrying fashion, or no me don't talk after Andrew Holness. Vernal Henry. It is for Jamaicans around the country to really tell we if see he got up chuk, how much of them say choke, how much of them still suffer water crisis. And as I think, is it Ian or Leon says, Leon, instead of chucking water, talking about chucking water, why on an run pipeline across the country? Why on an restore the pumps them? Call it Humphrey. A lot of pumps across the country in a certain pump house, including my community, wanna just report and gone with it. So don't service nor replace. And ever since we community in a big water crisis, a community will host its own river, Cassie River and Spring Pauline. A community where its township, Black River, hosts one of the longest river in Jamaica. Yes! We have drought them say. We are fool. We are fools to follow on a climate change agenda. Lies, Maxine Cummins. We are brand new fool. We just come out here. So easy for fool what you say. Drought. Drought and an island full of river falls and springs. Drought. Yes. Drought. Why don't we talk about water irrigation and distribution rather than the narrative of drought to suit your climate change agenda? Why don't we talk about irrigation and distribution? Isn't that the problem for 40, 50, 60, 70 years? Irrigation and distribution. I'm of the view that in the 70s and 80s, we have better water irrigation and distribution than we have now, albeit a lot of us used to have to go a standpipe, which many of them were in our community. In our kitchen and homes, now in our lavish houses, most of us around the country don't have water pressure to flush toilet. We have a full water bucket of water, a flush toilet. Yes, that is many Jamaicans' life. If them even have water to fill up the bucket, if go flush the toilet, and I come tell you about drought. In a country where we have rivers, springs, and falls, in a country where if we dig a grave by we reach 3 feet, water drown we have to get a pump to start pump out water in order to go deeper. Then how then is our agriculture system is suffering from drought? How much times have I spoke to you, the government, about deploying the borehole system in Africa, at least in our agricultural sector? No, because say when that do, we're not going to get no kickback money for chucking water and promise with new truck will sometime never come. Because always I promise with new vehicle, no? Always. But have we seen many of them? A long time we're here about garbage truck soon come. A long time we're here say JUTC bus soon come. Douglas Allen, how you do long time? Long time we're here say JUTC bus soon come. Long time we're here say police vehicles. So have you seen them? Is the question. Can you send us evidence of them if you have seen them? Because this government just chat. Galang, so as long as them are chat, them think to say they are doing the business of the people. You weren't elected to chat. You were elected to administrate the business of the Jamaican people. And so far, since the local government election, you have fallen off the step, limping to get up. But rather than fixing the issue that allow you to fall off the step, you continue to wallow down the gateway. Soon, we're going to have to take stone, cut you from wallowing and rolling down the hill. Because there's no return to normalcy in the Jamaica Labour Party ever since they were prickled and ticked. Everybody had gone laggerish. Everybody had gone laggerish all over the country. It's a cat fight rather than politics, is it not? So yesterday, on a job, and to the bureaucrats and technocrats in Ministry of Works and wherever else, Jeanette Riley, Colin Jones, when you have to write a speech for Andrew Holness to come to the dispatch box and explain to us, please make sure the Prime Minister have the speech at least 2 weeks before. So study it, read it, reread it, and him familiarize himself with it. The Prime Minister and the Minister of Education are not impressive at the dispatch box when they have to read reports. They're just not impressive, Herbert Hughley. They are just not impressive when they're at the dispatch box. So now try get the speech to them in fair good time So they don't have to come in front of the people, that's the game. And buck shuffle in front of the people then. So try get this speech a bit earlier to them so they can practice it and familiarize themselves without coming to the public with the buck shuffling. The talking make my head a pain, so I'm going to waffle through this quick. I see them a plan, government a plan to restart the talk and Portmore market. But from the local government election, we see them a walk and promise and break ground in a market, but we don't see no work go on for none of them. So I'm not frightened over this year. So I'm not going to turn long panic, I'm not frightened. You have to frighten me. Well, when your mother or grandmother would say to you, pick the boy or pick the girl, puss, broke coconut in your eye, it means you have no shame. That's what granny or mama was saying to you. Puss, broke coconut in your eye, mean you don't have no shame. Of all the women in public life in Jamaica, it is evident that puss broke coconut in a parlor and Juliet face. The Jamaica Labour Party, the Prime Minister nor his wife, leader of the executive and leader of the legislature, two powerful arm of the Constitution, does not seem to understand that this bury your head government and him friend them are past with the knives. This, JP, burying your head in the sand like an ostrich. Your ass is still up out there showing, Miss Holness. Burying your head will not allow this situation to die. Certainly, in social media land, we will always be asking the question. Along with that, we're also asking for the resignation of the Speaker of the House. We're asking for the resignation of the Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House lacks professional integrity. The Speaker of the House lacks professional integrity. The Speaker of the House, in misunderstanding or the bully tactics of her role, stepped way out of line and has blatantly refused to deal with the issue by a retraction of the reprimand to Ms. Curtis files, as well as a public apology. The government has been blind and deaf on this issue. It is like no one is talking. It is like no one cares. That what the government deafness and blindness to this issue would have you believe that this is not something that the nation cares about. This is not something that is of great importance to the nation. So therefore, let us put this issue to bed and move on. I explained to the Prime Minister, and I will continue to explain, that this Clark Speaker issue will be the greatest detriment, Prime Minister, to you at the general election, Lilith Foster. Will be the greatest detriment to you and the Jamaica Labour Party at the next general election. You just will not get away from this. The public will not let this go because this is an abuse of power. This is nepotism. This is corruption, Ladybug. Blatant lies were told to the public. Blatant lies were told to the public. Parliament was brought into disrepute by the actions of the wife of the Prime Minister, the Speaker of the House. The nation has continued to demand. Civil society has continuously demand. The People's National Party has continuously demand that there's a retraction of the letter and a public apology to the former Speaker of the House. Nobody pays us any attention. This will hang you at the next general election. Mackenzie outlined major investment for local government. Hey. We don't want to hear about the investment where you outline, because we don't have time to read the propaganda there. What we want to know is how long the war between you and Darrell Vaz, the murderous by vote criminal, or the member all pan election day, Marcia Gill. Darrell and him people them out pan street in a public and the camera a by vote. The video they pan that channel has a shot. In there, one of the money collector, a lot of people in the comment refer to him as bigger. What we want to know of the investment, how much of that investment are going to run off in a kickback. Because we know, say, you are the kickback king in a field with politics. From you was Mayor of Kingston, Desmond Mackenzie. We know you to be the kickback king. And under your local government galangin, you get under Darrell's skin. Because even when you fall to Darrell, you want it. And when you fall to you, Darrell want it. So it won't always in a kickback war, kickback king Desmond. Killer Vaz. So we want to know how much, like how we want to also know how much out of the 1 million we retrofit the tax office down a Mandeville where we already pay 451 million. See how spider, cobweb, roach, lizard, all sort of night crickets. Yes, 451 million. In a few municipal, the thief in Derek Sangster were in a politics before me ban. When he was mayor of Black River before the last general election, 100 million of the municipal money Derek Sangster give Desmond Mackenzie for car back at town, and the whole of we drain them black up. We pothole them, it look like America drop bunk buster bomb them Power Road. Yeah. And Desmond Mackenzie and Derek Sangster collude and carry back the municipal corporation money to Kingston. God Almighty know what the two of them do with it. God Almighty know what Derek Sangster and Desmond Mackenzie do with over 100 million. We don't know. No accountability right across government. That one, yeah. No shame. No professional integrity. But sometimes they say, you know, if you question judges' wisdom. But you know, me can't keep my mouth quiet. I wonder if anybody in the judiciary can provide with a reason as to why we don't have to give Paula Llewellyn space to come in at this and tell lie. We don't say gangsterism. That is why, Ian, we cannot trust the Jamaican Supreme Court as our final court. We want to, but see the embarrassment of the Vibes Cartel case. Another embarrassment again, where the GLC appealed a ruling by the Supreme Court, and they lost the ruling. It is telling me that our Jamaicans professional in the legal system is not understanding the law, just like we're at confusion with Section 39 and Section 40 of the Constitution, bros. This woman has no integrity. If the Jamaica Supreme Court, or appeal court as they call it, ruled in Paula's favor, does this mean that we're going to the Privy Council for a lengthy money spending of public purse, when all this could have been avoided if Paula has professional integrity and stepped aside and leave the integrity of the office of the prosecutor intact? If Paula is being reinstated to serve up until she's 65, can the work of Paula Llewellyn in the office be trusted? Even if Paula Llewellyn is the Mother Teresa of justice, would you trust Paula's work in the director of the Office of Public Prosecution, given how she has acted without integrity, given a lot of mistakes and mishaps she has made, legal blunders, like charging someone under Section 5 of the Firearms Act rather than charging them under Section 45. The confusion between Section 5 and Section 45 of the Firearms Act was a scandal, Miss Llewellyn. The amount of failed trial, Miss Llewellyn, because the evidence you went to court on, if you were an experienced justiciable prosecutor, you would have asked yourself the two questions. Does the evidence in this case meet the threshold to secure a conviction beyond reasonable doubt? Is the first question Miss Llewellyn is to ask herself when presented with evidence gathering from Marjorie Lewis, the investigators. And the other question she must answer herself is this within the public interest for us to mount a prosecution? If the evidence warrants it, Miss Llewellyn, then public interest also warrants it. Pauline Dix. But the evidence is presented to you, the chief prosecutor. And if you, the chief prosecutor, cannot examine the evidence and say this is where the defense would blow a hole into our argument because this is not strong enough, you need to go back and investigate from that point of view. Investigate from around there. So we want this gap filled. Jamaican caller, so you know, bro. We want this gap filled So when we get into the court, our argument isn't blown up by a good defense attorney. And therefore, you see a collapse of many of these trials in court because the evidence is not substantial enough. It was the same Paula Llewellyn when she was summoned for her advice on the jury debacle at the end of the Vibes Cartel case. With her knowledge and justice and her acclaimed reputation, this same Paula Llewellyn says to Justice Panton, which is another Darth Cooley, I am happy to proceed to deliberation with a tainted jury. A tainted jury pool, Miss Llewellyn says. I am prepared to accept a conviction from a juror who sought to bribe other jurors. It got worse than that. Further, in an interview when the debacle after the cartel ruling in the Privy Council came down, Paula Llewellyn furnished us with more evidence, Miss Llewellyn says. This is not the first time I have sent tainted jurors into deliberation. This, Miss Llewellyn said, was not the first time that I have accepted a decision from a tainted juror pool. This appeal court has allowed that Paula Llewellyn to enter a view into the constitutional crisis caused by the corrupt way in which the Prime Minister, his cabinet, and the Labour Party membership and Miss Llewellyn went about extending her time unconstitutionally, albeit went around because they wouldn't have consensus with the opposition. They went around by amending the Constitution in the dead of night in order so that Paula can serve until she is 65. And this same Paula Vanessa Llwellyn, this same Vanessa has been given permission to intervene into the constitutional debacle unfolding in our courts. You just couldn't make up the politics of our country unless we're walking on red carpet. Because of as I've always advised the government, paint we road them red. We always a premiere something in a Jamaica. Something always a pop off. Something unusual always a go on. See the goat thief them there. See the cow thief them there. The video and the picture one you see Popeye put out. That's Oral Brown. He's from my community. Long prolific thief. Kenton McIntosh. Also from my community. I have dodged this subject for a long time. I have dealt with it this morning. So anybody there know Popeye, tell Popeye, say, the bill and receipt with regards to this car when published yesterday was laid out this morning on global television. Enough is enough. Thank you very much for being here on your At a Glance program this morning, this afternoon from London. Thank you all very much to those on the X, on Global TV Studios, on the GTV Group, on the Producer Wayne Global Television. Thank you all very much for being here this morning, this afternoon. See you all later. Thank you all for being here. And if you have not liked the live yet, please do before you go. If you're a silent listener who is watching, make sure you hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you are one of the first to be notified when Global Television goes live. Our Cabulon HVAC Service Incorporated. Well, go on. Anyway, thank you all for being here. And to those of you silent listeners, thank you all for always being here, listening in the quiet. Make sure you're subscribed. Good morning and good afternoon from Global Television.